Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy Viewers. This is Grand Arena second match, second week, season 29. Last round was a loss, but not really a surprise. I was going up against a pretty ridiculous opponent with 6 Galactic Legends, with a triple Ami, Relicate, Malgus. This is an opponent who should be in Kyber 1, but because of inconsistent participation, has fallen down, and it was just going to be a gamble of whether or not he decided to participate. And with me, he decided to participate. Here's his Malgus. At this point of the match, I'll click on him so you can see him. At this point, I had already used most of my good characters. I had left that for one of the later matches. I didn't have Traya at this point to test, or my Mandalorian, but I don't have them at relics anyway, so they likely wouldn't have survived. It was pretty rough going. You can check out the last video if you want to see how those battles went. I did have my own Malgus at gear 11 with a single Ami, and it's pretty promising, even at that level. Like, he's not going to do the damage, probably maybe a better defensive option. Well, regardless, he's a better defensive option. It's just I want to showcase him with footage in the early going. After a couple weeks, I'll probably move him to defense. My defense, though, despite everything, did pretty well. Top territory. We got a hold from Finn. Down below, I think he cleared this first bottom territory, no problem. Yeah, those were one shots. The back wall did okay. I think at least got one hold. And we have a hold from Mando and a hold from CLS. And this is why I have, not Mando, oh, well, he is there. A hold from Maul with Bam and Bo Katan. This is something I have been going up against during the first week, and I found it to be very effective. It was pretty annoying to deal with. And even with my gas, it won both times I used it, but it was always a little scary. And it's because of the damage immunity that Bam puts down. So my opponent got tripped up by it, and I think it's going to be a pretty solid defensive team moving forward. I shook things up a little bit after last week. Fleets did very well. Both the Empire and Negotiator getting holds. Finalizer was going to go down. It's not a team I want on defense. I'd like to put the Falcon on defense. But I have both a 7-star Outrider and the RAVENCLAW I want to use for testing. So the Falcon we're keeping, or Home One rather, we're keeping for offense. Here is the hotbot for my opponent. This has changed a bit, so we're not going to address all the things I normally highlight. Like, they took out the legacy stats, which I always like to look at as a serious metric to get an idea of what kind of opponent I was dealing with. That stuff's gone. But there's some newer information here that I think is helpful. His clears are low, undersizes are low, but nothing egregious. Much smaller guild. The Zetas are very low for his account. He has 8 Omicrons, but I think like 2 or 3 of those are territory wars. He only has 6 Grand Arena Omicrons, and some of them aren't really going to function. Like, he has a Wampa Ami, but it's like a gear 9 Wampa. In terms of his gear levels, this is much more readable now. So he's got 66 relics less than me, 15 gear 12 less than me, and of course gear 11 way less than me. So just in terms of roster depth, we're just completely lapping him here. And we're also lapping him on mods, on 6-dot mods. We're not that far ahead on 6-dots, but just the quality of my mods just completely dwarf him. But since we're close on overall relic levels, the relic analysis here is somewhat similar. We're nothing too different. He does have an excellent Datacron game, and we'll be highlighting his Datacrons. They are going to be a problem and something we're going to have to be planning around. But you can see we're matched in GL count but he has a number of blank spots here. So no Jedi Knight Luke, no Malgus, no Maul, no Starkiller, no Scion of Jango, and only a 5-star Executor. So when it comes to number of weapons, he is significantly more shallow than what I've got to work with. Really, the only advantage he has on his end is going to be the quality of his Datacrons. And here's a quick look at the Grand Arena bracket information. Most of this is redundant, but there's a few things that I like to look at. Here are the top 25. He's lower, but his top 25 mods are solid. His top 500, though, very slow. And you can see how some of these characters are modded. He's got Iden usable. His Zam has an Ami and is usable, but here's his Wampa, Gear 9, and slow. And then no Quill, his Echo's not really ready for prime time. So you can just see there's a number of weapons he's somewhat lacking because of how shallow his roster is. And then you can see, like, I've got all my top 10 speeds are 135 and up, and he's only got half as many characters at that rate. And I could be doing much better on this, but I spread out my mods a lot. Here's what I got to deal with. I'm not going to click on all the Datacrons in advance, but just a couple of them. We have HK, we have Bo Katan, Crew, Bossk, Padme. We'll click on this one. Protection up. So that just means I'm going to be starting off the battle not able to land debuffs. It's going to complicate certain counters, not all of them. That one's not a terrifying one, but it's an appropriate one for Padme. Down below, we're looking at Darth Revan. The only nice thing here is that it's a slow Darth Revan. Here is the Datacron he has on his JMK squad. You can see it's fully level 9 with buffs for Kenobi. He's going to be recovering health and protection anytime they gain a buff. This is going to be a problem. I don't think there's any way I'm going to clear this in one. I think I'm going to have to sacrifice my JMK to take out his GK and just try and clean it up in 2, maybe even, hopefully not more than that. And he has Shaak T and Gas with Datacrons and then Grievous. So we're going to start down here. I have like 40% of a plan, maybe 30% of a plan. I started looking at things earlier today, but didn't completely plan it out. I think we're going to do Gas up here up against Darth Revan. What I need, one of the things as I work on Sith Eternal Emperor, just being able to have a non-expensive counter for Darth Revan, that's going to be really valuable. I wish there was more of them. It's still a pricey counter for me. I haven't decided where I'm going to use my Malgus. I do want to use him with better characters this time around. Let's see, do I want? Let's do Tenacity up. I want to be able to survive some of these debuffs as they come in. Let's see if we can take out Fallen before things move too far along. Not crazy about that. This is bad timing. Yeah, that was really bad timing. Not the cleanest, but we're good. Alright. I was kind of undecided about a few of these things. So my plan for gas has got to be Starkiller. I was looking through it and I don't really, especially with this Datacron, let me show you what he's got on it. So anytime that gas is throwing down days, he's going to be recovering. That's not super scary, but it's going to be good enough. And then he has crit damage and protection. So he's going to be a lot better. And I don't have anything else other than a Galactic Legend to throw at him, and I don't want to do that. By next round, I'm going to have at least a Relic 5 Palpatine. I need my Starkiller to be even better. I need my Starkiller to be able to reliably beat Rey is what I need. So Starkiller's got to be another level or two. Palpatine's got to be at least another level. Alright. Can we get some more stuns? Okay, we got a daze on him, which is good. Let's trigger these staggers. I guess there's only one. It's going to put tenacity up in a second, which is not great. I wish we'd had a stagger on him. Perfect. Okay. See, this is why I need a better Palpatine. Let's see if we can get a stagger on him, control him a little bit. That's not ideal. Maybe it would have been better to save it. That's good. I want to remod my Mara Jade too. Alright, here we go. So Shaak T, I was going to either do Revan or Bad Batch. I would like Bad Batch to work. Wampa, we're going to either do Shaak T, or not Wampa. For Grievous, we're going to do Wampa or Shaak T, but I really don't want to use Wampa. I think what we need to do is, we got to do this JMK battle now. And basically, my JMK is going in for kamikaze attack. Where? Let's throw something on them to try and give them a better chance. Starting with turn meter. That's actually pretty good. Let's do that. Okay, yeah, that was gonna happen anyway. Now with the Datacron he has, I don't think I got any shot. Otherwise I think we win this. I need to refocus this camera. Yeah, this is going bad. Why didn't you go first? Let's just put a second armor shred on him. Alright, I should have the ultimate. Perfect. That's 3 armor shreds on Cat. If we can take her out. Come on. Okay, that's scary. Yes! Okay, I can live with it. I can absolutely live with this. Let's just auto from here. I wonder if Wampa can clean it up. Maybe without the Datacron, I think Wampa could clean it up. With the Datacron, I don't know. Maybe it's worth trying. This is why I want to do this battle first, because then it would influence my decision of whether or not to use Wampa elsewhere. Even if Wampa loses, I think it's worth testing out now. But that means my Shaak teach. Let's check the speeds. So we're at 299, one of his faster characters. His 5, well, 5s isn't going to be fast, so we don't need to worry about that really. 252. That's not the part that matters. Echo here. That's super slow. All right. How fast is my tech again? Because really what I'm finding with my Bad Batch is, even though I have a decently sped up Echo, not having a fast tech is what's causing me problems. Because you really need them working with like a 1-2 punch. 232. Yeah, I don't think that's good, because what's going to happen is I'm going to get my Echo's going to go out there, do some damage. Shaak T is going to cleanse everything. But maybe I can stun right after. I don't know. I don't think it's... I don't think it's going to work. I'm dubious. I don't think it's worth the risk. Really didn't want to use Jedi Knight Revan. But I think it's what I have to do. I've got to check out his data. Did I already click on that? I don't remember. Don't care about that. I also don't want to use too good of a Datacron here, so I'm... that's not going to come into play. I'm just, do I want to use that elsewhere? This would be good for this. Maybe I just want to boost some stats. Get some extra damage and health. Or no, that's potency. That's not that much though. Alright, what was his Datacron again? Okay. So he's going to be getting stacking damage. I think I'm going to want to do the same. I think Bad Batch would have been destroyed. Now that I'm really thinking about it. At least my Bad Batch would. Alright, let's eliminate the Shaak T problem. I want strategic advantage on Yoda, so 5s doesn't counter, but I'm gonna just spread it around right now. Beautiful. Alright, this is also why I didn't want to use this squad. It's a little much for Shaak T. But it's 3v3 and it's just, you know, I don't want to take any chances right now. Alright. We're going to use my Shaak T. I don't like using Bad Batch in 3v3. So you can see what I mean. Like, for as good as this guy's Omicrons are, I'm just really surprised how weak or how good his Datacrons are. I'm surprised how weak his mod game is. I want to see. I think maybe. This isn't how I normally play it, but I'm going to try this. Maybe I'm being foolish. No, let's just do it. That's bad. I don't want to take anybody out yet. Alright, we got to. Okay, this timing's more favorable. I usually prefer to have Echo be alive. We're probably fine. The stun doesn't matter when he's below 100% health. Or I do have Echo alive. There we go. We're going to try and Wampa this. I don't know if Wampa can beat it. And I'm worried about mine at Relic 6. He really needs to be higher. He has cleaned up some stuff for me in the past, but... I just don't know. There is some extra health. Does something give me like way more health? The health steal would be nice if I had health and health steal. We're gonna go with this. At least there's a little extra health. All right, protection up. Alright, next turn we get protection up again. But he's attacking me beneath my protection. And that's what's going to cause me to lose. That's the problem. Healing immunity is not helping, but... I'm going for the hit. Yeah. This is the problem. It's the Datacron. Because he's ignoring protection. It's all that damage he was doing to my health without the protection up. That I would have won it had the Datacron not been what it is. With a higher relic level, maybe we get through it. Maybe with different stat boost, maybe we get through it. But not my Wampa. Now... we basically have to resort to my JML. We know at least his roster is shallow enough that as long as his SLKR is not on the back wall, we should be able to get through anything else. It does make me want to... Here, let's use Hermit Yoda and old Ben. I'm going to keep Luke. Winning or losing this is not going to be based on Luke, I don't think. Not that one. We're going to get to the ultimate as quick as we can. Let's actually increase cooldowns. Alright, everybody's at 3. Now we're just calling in. Okay. All right. Let's see what he has for me on that back wall. I couldn't even, from his Grand Arena history, see what he had back there. Nobody got through last week. So we got Ewoks, we got BAM. Ewoks, we can at least nest those. Okay, he's got a weak back wall. We can play around with this. The Bad Batch and Iden team, we can be a little careful with. Like, he's going to have a lot more trouble with my defense, especially because the number of teams he doesn't have that I do. Especially because, like, he put Gas Darth Revan down. He put a GL down. So that basically leaves SLKR, Jedi Knight Revan, CLS, Han, if he splits his CLS and Han teams. That's it. He has like 4 squads. Unless I'm forgetting something. He's going to run out of teams. I think even if we goof off a lot and lose a number of battles on that back wall testing things, I think we still have a safe win. This is why I kept my Jedi Knight Luke. I want to just solo here. Alright, we're going to start talking nonsense. Because we're past the stressful part of the match. Let's stun everybody. I took a nap before I started. It's a little late right now because I took a nap beforehand. And I really think that naps are one of the few things that got better with growing older. Like, I don't think I've ever had a nap feel as good as my naps feel these days. It was a wonderful nap. Just the level you feel refreshed. And I've always loved napping, but it's gotten better. I fell asleep watching some nonsense stuff after I was working, doing preps for this. I watched Doom Annihilation. Absolute trash. Here's something I'm trying to determine. I was thinking about this earlier. Where is that level? Like, what is the movie that defines the threshold for a bad movie that I'm willing to watch and one that I find painful? And the only thing I could think of offhand is, because I watched it semi-recently, was The Tomorrow War. That movie is awful, but I enjoyed watching it. It's completely manageable and workable kind of movie to watch. It's very generic. It's not that, like, trash level. It's a little schlocky, but not completely, like... But that's still way above the threshold. What's, like, something several tiers down? Because I like to watch a lot of bad movies. Alright, this Datacron... What was my plan for... I had no plan for Bossk. I don't know. Troopers. Let's just do troopers. I also tried to watch Seventh Son. Awful. And what it's shocking about that one, like, there's no surprise that Doom Annihilation is as bad as it is. What was surprising was how bad Seventh Son was, because that cast is loaded. It's Jeff Bridges, Alicia Vikander, Julianne Moore, Ava Green. Like, it's a really solid cast. But I honestly have no idea what they thought they were getting involved with, because like that script is terrible. Like, I guess it's adapted from a book, so maybe they thought the property... I checked the budget of the movie, and maybe I need to recalibrate my... It's a $95 million budget, and maybe when the movie was made, that was more expensive than it sounds, but that's like a very... It's not a cheap movie, but it's not an expensive movie. It's just joyless, completely joyless, and I haven't even finished it. I just gave up on it. And I've finished a lot of terrible movies. I'm surprised I couldn't finish that. Like, I've been talking about that show Manifest in several videos, and that show is awful, but it's completely watchable. Great. I love Troopers so much. Did I not have a plan for Bo? Jeez. I didn't really plan this top territory all that much. This is going to be annoying. I wonder if I want to use... You know what? Let's do Malgus. Thing is, I think Malgus is not going to have an issue here. Let's do it. This is... The Padme team I'm not worried about. This team, because... this isn't like a terrifying team, but Relic 7 Django is going to rip up anybody. This is probably as good a place as any to test out Malgus. And this time, oops, that's not Malgus. This time we're gonna use full Sith Empire. Which, this isn't much better than last round we did Darth Talon and Sith Marauder. Malik's not significantly better, but better enough. Maybe we didn't even do Sith Marauder. Maybe I used someone else. Let's do this. Last round, this Malgus stood up to CLS for a very long time. It was very impressive. I'm going to throw Doubt over on Django. I do think for next week I'm going to put on that second Omicron. I think that one I always thought was likely to be required, but I thought it was questionable enough to not have to do it. But now, after playing this and playing my opponent and seeing how his Malgus worked, I think 2 at a minimum are going to be required to really get the usage that you're going to want to see. And this is why I was thinking Malak is just being able to throw fear on Jango and eliminate that one concern. I guess let's do it. Oh, okay, that was good. That's what Malgus is supposed to do all the time with high relics. I'm surprised mine was able to do it. But what you can see is that Gear 11 is workable. Like, if you don't have the gear to go up to relics right away, like I didn't, but I wouldn't have put on the relics regardless, just for testing purposes, because I like to show like to what degree this kind of stuff is an option. You know what? I'm gonna let him take his turn. Let Fear skip his turn. Next match, we will take Darth Revan off of defense, so I can throw Darth Revan with Malgus. What I want to do, though, is I would just prefer to put like bad characters with Malgus, because I really want to show more of what he can do. Maybe Sith Empire Trooper would be enough, because Marauder, he's not doing anything. I just feel like Malak is doing a lot of work there. He didn't do a ton. Malgus did a good amount of work. But I don't... Maybe we'll do something like Sith Empire Trooper, Vassal of Fallen, and Malgus. Let's do like this. This is... Give me a stun. Fine. Give me a stun. Kind of. Not what I meant. There we go. Fine. Let's dispel. Fine. As soon as Talzin dies, we can get into action. If it happens. I'm intensely not going to heal up, though. I guess maybe we need to get the banner. Let's do it. Alright. That's a nonsense team. Now this Padme team, even though it has a Datacron, I think I can still disrespect it. I kind of just want to Traya it. I don't know if I'm ever going to put that Darth Talon Omicron on. At least until Omicrons stop being so rare, because it's 5v5 only. That Omicron can only work if you pair Talon with the trio, which is not even the best way to use her, which makes the Omicron useless in 3v3. Unless, I guess you could use it if you took out Nihilus, but why would you do that? Because the way it functions, it's based off of pain or isolate, so whoever you're hitting, so you need to use Sion and Traya to make it work. I thought you guys were starting protection up. Alright. Did I read that wrong? Are you like converting protection up into something? Like can I click on this and see? Yeah. I don't get it. Alright, whatever. Yeah, this is why I didn't think I needed to be concerned about this. When Sion came into the game, that was such an awesome movement. It's definitely one of the high points of the game, but it was, I don't want to say it was a high point of the game, but it was one of those peak moments where there were still so many people playing, and there was so much excitement within the community. Like it was when there was, the community was just almost universally positive about things. It was really nice. Alright, let's go have fun on that back wall. Alright, we'll do a Nest solo to start things off on. We got at least two solos that worked. That Wampa solo was one that didn't. Like in terms of like bad movies, like I watched all the Puppet Master movies. Like those are just straight to video schlock, and I loved watching them. Go down, Ewok. All right. Okay. Closer. I wish there were more Jedi here. We're going to do Inquisitors, so I can just show how awful they are. I wish these guys were semi-functional until you got a Grand Inquisitor. They're just not. They should win this, though. This is within their range. but... And these guys are all low gear. Nobody needs to heal up, but it would... It's fine. Let's just do a little hit here. Because there's fear on Hera, I'm going to ignore her. I just want to get a little bit more purge. We'll hit Kanan because here, that'll take him out. What? Was there the revive thing on him? Did I just not notice that? This consumes purge. No, there was the other ability that consumes purge. What am I talking about? I wish it was the same, like, abilities and orders that consumed purge or with the specials. Keeping them straight gets annoying. I wish it was like always the middle ability consumes purge. Just make my life easier, CG. I've got enough kits to remember. These guys were so low gear that it's like whatever, but still. We have this, you know, we'll do a Fennec solo against somebody, but I want to do, we got Raddus I'd like to try, but we're not going to do, wait a second, wait, isn't Raddus like an Iden counter? Wasn't that like his whole deal? This would be like the perfect one to test him up against. I gotta remind myself. I gotta reread this kit. So when an Empire team gains bonus turn meter, they're inflicted with daze. Yeah, so they... I think they start... I know she starts out with 100 turn meter, but if that's bonus turn meter she starts out with, that means she's applying daze to everybody, so she can't call it, but I think she also dispels when she calls people in. And that's only the leadership. I think there's other things within this kit that makes him an Iden counter. No. So we're going to increase cooldowns if the... So we're getting offense and speed. Empire enemies can't be revived. Yeah, so if we have Spark of Rebellion... The thing is, we're not going to have Spark of Rebellion the way... Let's do it. All right, let's do it. I want to see this in action. This might be easier if I had the Omicron, because we're not going to start out with Spark of the Rebellion, but Jin, I think, starts out with it. We're going to do it. And again, I've said this every time, and I don't remember, even though I've written it down several times, to change my mods. I'm fairly certain Cassian needs to go before Raddus does. Because we need debuffs on the field. Okay. If he wasn't debuffed, it would be good to do it to Cassian. I don't know, I want to stun Iden. Do I want to do this now? Dispel all... Yeah, let's get rid of the debuffs. It feels like a waste to use this on Cassian right now. Let's not do it. That is annoying. Okay. I mean, obviously this is a weaker Iden team, but this is promising. See, if they had debuffs, we would increase cooldowns when we do the middle ability. Dispel all debuffs. I want Spark of Rebellion, though, because that's how we prevent revives. That's how Magma Trooper didn't come back. Unless he maybe didn't come back because he didn't have the buff up, the We Adapt or Die up. I'm not sure. I'll have to rewatch the footage. But now she has Spark of Rebellion. So if he goes down in this hit, it's because of that. Yeah. Obviously, we're going to want to do this up against a better Iden team in the future. But that's promising. Like, it worked. I got to remember that for next time. That was fun. This is what I'd like to do in this game. Not Datacrons. Alright, what other fun can we have? Oh, Krrsantan! We can have fun with Krrsantan. Let's do Hut Cartel. The question is just... Yeah, I'd rather do it up against BAM than Bad Batch. Maybe I'll put that Zeta on Greedo so that the Threaten ability stuns. Alright, so we'll throw down Disarm. Not the best spot to put it, but there's no ideal situations. How does this contract work again? I guess we'll have to wait to find out. Let's stun. Oh yeah, we have to take out Beskar Mando. That's what it is. Which is good that we have two guys who can dispel. I'm going to save the dispel. Even though, okay. I'm looking forward to having a Relic Greedo. I love Greedo. He was my childhood favorite. Him and Tuskens for some reason. I was a weird kid. Alright, I'm just going to auto from here. I'm already bored with this one. This is... I mean, it's nice that we can play around with Krrsantan, but it's just so obviously not his intended use that it's just kind of boring. Like, at least Raddus, that's the intended use. That's fun. Being able to see even a shadow of how Raddus is supposed to function is great. Do you think we can do a Fennec solo here? Let's try it. Let's throw armor shreds on Wrecker. That daze is unfortunate because the counters is one of the ways she's affected, but that was huge. I mean, these guys are low gear. I guess let's not be overly impressed. But Hunter is ripping us apart. That's not good. Let's take out Echo. Nice. With higher gear, they would have won. But also, I probably never should have used the armor shred. I probably should have just went right into it. Alright, how do I want to do this? Let's check out his Beskar. Oh, his Beskar Mando's slow as crap. God, come on, man. I haven't done the Maul counter in so long. I'm not confident that I remember how to do. Oh, I don't have the TIE fighter. That's on defense. So we're not even going to try it. The thing is, this is scarier up against low gear executors. You got to play it a little differently. I think we're just going to go right into it. This is not what I normally do. But with this, the star advantage, with all the... with the gear advantages, I think this is just what we do. Is there breach? Yeah. Maybe we should be going after Cad Bane. I'm just sticking with my approach. There's the contract or the payout. Got a little. Alright, this should take care of Razor Crest or close to it. Okay. Now we just gotta decide where we're gonna test out the Outrider. 7-star Outrider. We're definitely we're gonna do home 1 v home 1. He doesn't have JML, so he probably has a weaker Han, right? Han and Chewie. Slightly. Mine are Relic 6, is a Relic 5. It doesn't matter, he doesn't have Biston anyway. We'll finish up with that. We'll do Malevolence, then we'll do Outrider. Or not Malevolence Negotiator. Okay. It's fine. Yeah, let's do this. Do this. Perfect. That's why you don't put Sergeant on the reinforcements. Stops Plo from coming out. That's not great. We can work with it though. That should trigger him into stealth again. Let's just take out Y-Wing. We need to bring out a reinforcement. That's scary. Let's bring out Spy. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. That's not what I want though. This is actually a little alarming. The Spy is vulnerable. Don't die, don't die, don't die. Oh. Yes. Let's take him out. But yeah, there it's over. We can work with it, but I prefer to do it in one. We'll clean it up later. Let's do something fun. So home one. We're going to do dash, because now we have a 7-star Outrider. That's new. We will do the Y-Wing, because that's how I expect the profundity is going to work. Now, I think what we're going to see is Ghost, Biston, X-Wings with Raven's Claw, and probably Phantom, but Cassian could work with Raven's Claw, but I think we're going to use it here. You know what I think we're going to do? Oh my god, do I really want to do this? Here's what I'm thinking. I also want to test out the Raven's Claw. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to intentionally use the wrong capital ship. Because with Falcon, home one actually doesn't add that much. Just like a couple of assists, not too much. Or we'll be able to use the home one now to clean up the negotiator and use the Raven's Claw. Let's just throw something else. Here, that's not bad. The rest is going to go with like Raddus if we need to, if Raven's Claw doesn't work out. I'm also being completely foolish right now because I'm just assuming that I'm going to win this, which is a dumb assumption. Let's just hit the Falcon. Okay, so that did nothing. We're going to start working on Y-Wing. Okay. Oh, don't die! Sure wish we had Biggs right now. I'm playing this in a stupid fashion. Alright, we got our special. I probably should have called out the Jedi Consular ship so we could have a better feel for how that download worked. Alright, so we got Okay. Because there's target lock, I can ignore taunt right now, so we're gonna hit Plo. Can they all ignore? It's just RAVENCLAW can ignore taunt. Okay. Don't die on me, Biggs. Don't die on me, RAVENCLAW, more importantly. Foresight's helping me out. Okay, so I'm getting Foresight every time we land target lock. It's just 5-star, it just really doesn't seem like it's enough for this ship. Yeah, he already had 0 turn meter, so we're not going to worry about that. That turn meter control is something I need to keep in mind for next time. Not that this cleanup scenario had anything strong left, other than maybe the 5s. That Ahsoka, I think, I guess it was a Relic 3 Ahsoka. It's fine. Alright, I'm going to call that a win. My opponent is just without too many weapons. Really solid Datacrons. Pretty solid frontline defense, but I think the depth is going to be pretty strong. I think we're going to win the next round too, looking at the Grand Arena bracket. I'll pull that up before we call it. Here's the bracket again. I was hoping for 3-0 week, but because we lost to Sinophen here, that's not an option. But next round, we're either going to go up against a 3GL player, a 4GL... No, we're in the 0-0 bracket. A 4GL player, a 3GL player. That's the opponent. So either Va'el or Mish here on the end. And they're looking... Relic units are solid. Va'el has some decent depth. But the mods, Mish has the better mods. Mish has really good mods. But a shallower roster. In terms of GLs, fairly even, except Vile has an advantage of 1. Also has STRKLR though. No Maul. This is Kyber 3 is weird. I want to go back to Kyber 2. I think we'll probably see Va'el because it just... That's essentially like 2 extra GLs. So he's like 5 GLs versus 3. You can almost think of it that way. What about Jedi Knight Luke? Can I see if he has Jedi Knight Luke anywhere in here? He's got Jedi Knight Luke. That does not mean the other guy doesn't have JKL, but that's not something we can determine. No, they both got to, because if you have JML, you got Jedi Knight Luke. the path from Jedi Knight Luke to JML is so short that there's no way you have Jedi Master Luke and not Jedi Knight Luke. Alright, we'll call it there. I think we have my speculation video. We'll keep that up. That's a recent video. I think I've spent a lot of time on that one. Way too much time. That's probably the longest amount of time I've spent on a video in months. I don't know why it took me so long. We'll throw another list or talk video up over there. And I think there's a bunch of things I want to get out there. I'm not going to preempt it. We'll see how I feel tomorrow with which video I decide to work on. But I'll definitely be working on at least one video this weekend to get out. Thank you for watching. Be safe out there, everyone. Be excellent to each other. This is Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes.